Today we're going to be doing a install and initial thoughts and eventually a long-term review on these Radar Renegade RT tires, the interchangeable sidewalls. 285, 75, 16 in this situation. Stay tuned. Luckily I know a guy that has a tire machine, Rob here. This is the truck. And we're gonna get some of these mounted up. Two of the wheels I'm gonna use are still in the truck, so I'll take those off. They're these style, the new body style Chevy. I'm gonna refinish them. It's super hot and humid today. We're in the pool and everything.
35.
Yeah, it feels like 40 something probably. So I'm not gonna paint them today because they probably won't turn out, I assume. Because it's really hot. But we're gonna put them on the truck. I'm also gonna crank the torsion bars up a bit so you guys can see that if you've never experienced it.
Fuck, Mike, what happened to your fender?
Yeah, that's
his bodywork job.
New damage. Well, not damage, but
Patch fell out.
I made this piece here and welded it here and then at the bottom, so that's fallen off. And then I had a piece of one of the other parts of the truck I cut off that fit this contour. Yeah. But I didn't expect that to last. I just did it really quick at the time. But yeah, this is the truck, the Sierra. You've seen some work on the channel before. You can't even tell body work right here and all that stuff. Currently has Goodyear Wrangler Durtrax on it. This is the only good tire out of 6 that I have. This one I filled up this morning and it's already almost, you know,
it's flat.
Probably at like 20 psi. Oh no, it got way flatter than that. But that's the good thing about an off-road tire like this. If it does leak and it does go flat, you can ride her down to like 7 psi and it'll still be fine for slow speed. Car tire would probably be already on the rim at that point.
This video is going to be rated R with you no shirt on.
That junk hanging out. All right, so we're gonna get
like Elvis.
mounting some tires, I guess.
Mounty. Started erupting rusty water out of somewhere.
Water right there.
Huh. This right here, whatever that does.
I guess it's just water that got inside this. I mean, you know the thing that goes and it's supposed to pop the tire on?
Yeah, that system.
I guess when I opened it to let the things open, it shot a bunch of water up.
We are ready to mount a tire, and
we have a conundrum.
yeah, it's time for the decision. Do you go with the skull and piston, as we have on this side, or with the, they call this the dagger, I believe, because let's see. So yeah, it's totally different, really. There's only those two side bars in the thing, and then on here there's these massive ones. So the decision is pretty made in my mind. What do you guys?
Skulls.
Yeah.
Everyone who doesn't own the truck likes the skulls.
Oh,
but,
you don't like them?
No.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, they're your tires.
I don't care.
No. Well, I don't like this as much.
Oh, I see.
Like I think this just looks
that
better
looks
in
cool.
general. Yeah. I don't know. You guys post in the comments. And
the skulls on is Mike crazy.
If you put
Yeah.
them on the opposite way, and more of you say put them on the other way, then we'll.
yeah, 20,000 likes, and I'll turn them around and put the skulls on the outside. So we got 2 of them mounted up. Mounted up. They look pretty sick. The other 2 wheels I have are on this side of the truck, so I'm gonna have to take the wheels and tires off. It's prickly.
Prickly one?
But yeah, these look really sick mounted up. Like even the tread looks, you know, once there's air and they're on a wheel, they look a little different. So I'm pretty excited. They also look very tall. I compared it next to one of those. Once we have one of them off, we'll compare it again. They're also flat in the driveways. Once we have it off the truck, we'll see. Yeah. Excited though. We only got one more left on the wheel. This is another. This tire is like good still.
Besides the nails.
Well, yeah, besides the nail. 2 nails in the same area, but good tread. For this last one, we'll show you the entire process with the tire machine. For those of you that have never used a tire machine before, it takes 2 people.
You probably shouldn't listen because this is a shitty tire
Someone
machine.
needs to hit those arms with a hammer so they go in.
Yeah.
Usually, that kind of hammer works pretty good for us.
Is exposed to the elements.
Even it did that even before. It's a $200. I paid $200 for this thing.
This arm comes here.
You didn't even pop the bead yet.
What? You didn't. Oh my
You didn't
God.
pop the bead yet.
I did that just to catch if they were watching in the video.
Yeah. Just to see if we're paying attention. Yeah, this tire machine does the job. It's not the greatest tire machine out there, but It does what it needs to do sometimes. Oh, you might have to turn it to the next spot. No. Out more. Like there. There it goes. There it goes. Pop. No, I broke it.
I think it's good. You want to get it just a little bit under the tire and then pull it back and send it swinging.
Well,
I didn't do it right, but you got it. Good job. And this is the real fun part.
hey, so you want big giant tires? That's what you got to do.
They're kind of easier to work with than
In some way, then low pros in some ways, yeah. They're just so big. It's like big tubber tires, like Pete style.
Are you in there?
That's what she said.
Lift over there now. Like blind there.
There you go.
Fucking
Now you did it. Now you did it.
I'm glad we recorded this one.
Yeah, like it's been working perfect, and now it didn't. This happens occasionally with this tire machine, but
Nothing you can do.
it's been good ever up until this one. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now press the pedal. Lift, lift, lift. You're not lifting. Now hold on, calm down. Get the hammer again. Tap them in.
Got no jam.
It's going, it's going. It's because it was stuck on there. Keep going. It'll go.
Care about this tire anyway.
What's your song?
What? Oh. There you go.
So we're going
It's as easy as that.
Easy as that, yeah. Gotta tilt it back.
Is there?
There it goes.
That was easy.
And that's how you remove the tire. Next, we'll pull one off.
What do you want them to do?
And last tire to go. Oh.
Dismount the other one?
Oh yeah, this is it. Last one.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't think that's gonna work.
It definitely doesn't help that the thing is on wheels,
No.
but we can get it close enough.
There you go. Go, it'll go. You just gotta catch, kind of.
Plane's gonna hold it.
There you go. Boom.
Boom.
Done.
And that's how you mount Radar Renegade RT Plus tires. Without warranty.
And just air them up.
So if you didn't do it in the shop, I don't know what their warranty is. We'll go into that later. But I think they said 2-year manufacturer defect when I bought them. Now we're gonna pull out the valve stem core and pop on the bead. One.
Pull.
Coming. 3, 2, 1. Called it.
Now we just gotta mount these, and I can start rubbing. Actually, we gotta lift the torsion bars as well.
Ready?
Yeah. Before I put the last one on, here's a quick comparison of the two tread patterns and the tires in general. I mean, I definitely think that Radar is trying to hit the Duratrack market with these guys, because a lot of people that are looking for these, you know, it's basically it was $1,300 plus for 285 75 16s, brand new Duratracks. These were $770, taxes in and everything. So they're a lot cheaper. So I mean, if they do the job in the end, this is definitely a tire you want to get. I'm not quite sure how they're going to be quality-wise and tread life and all that stuff, but we're going to find out. I figured for half the price, it's worth the risk. But you can see the sidewall on the Duratrack. I think that's what they were going for with this. You know, similarities like that. You kind of know that a company like this that's making an off-brand, offshore tire is going to try to imitate what's popular here. That's usually what guitar companies do and car and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the difference. Half the price. I guess we'll see how they work out. Also kind of interesting and typical for one of my vehicles. Notice this brake line here. Just kind of, and to be honest, I kind of noticed it was broken off up there a little while ago from the distribution block or whatever on top of the diff, and it still braked. The front brakes worked, but then today I noticed that it's also I guess from jiggling around. I mean, it was only like 2 days ago I noticed this, but possibly it could have been like 2 months. But anyway, the brake line has removed itself. Step 1 done. I guess I'm gonna have to get a new brake line for this side so the rear brakes work. Last thing I want to do today is adjust the torsion bars. If you guys are unfamiliar, that is the bolt there, that is the key. Basically pushes up on this key, which is fitted to the end of this bar. This is the front suspension. This is the spring for the front suspension. It's torsion front suspension. Basically, this big bar goes into the control arm there, the lower control arm. You can see it's the shape where the bar fits in. And the way that the front suspension has spring is by tension on this bar. So, to raise the front suspension up, you can push this in more, which in turn pushes this key up and, you know, twists the bar more, giving it more tension. The problem that can arise from that is a really rough ride. And, you know how internet forum people are. Oh, don't do it, you gotta get a lift kit. The ride is too rough. I turned these ones up a bit already when I first got the truck. I didn't notice anything because I wanted to see if it made a difference. But as you can see under here, there's like an inch of there's a lot on that bolt. Some people crank them all the way up. Another popular thing is to get forward keys because they offer a little more lift without having to crank that all the way up. But yeah, another thing you would definitely want to keep in mind, I should mention, is that you want to do this equally, obviously. So I have this breaker bar here. I'll put it on, I'll turn it, say, 3 turns. You know, make note of where it starts in 3 turns. Same thing on the other side. We'll see how it is. I think I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do a decent bit and we'll see what happens. All right, so I made the adjustment. Nothing broke and, ripped through my chest or anything while I was under here. By the way, you have to have it jacked up if you're trying to do that with like tension, pressure on the truck sitting on the suspension. It probably wouldn't work too well. Nonetheless, they were still pretty tight, but they did move. They're not like rusted or anything. So I ended up going with 4 turns on each side. And I guess we'll see how that works out. Jack stands for safety, guys. Oh, and this thing, I think I'm just gonna get rid of this because I don't want to go into my new tire. Gonna have to find a new fender for this thing at the junkyard in one of our junkyard adventures. Finally, when you're letting the truck off the jack, you always want to make sure to do it nice and easy, not to hurt anything.
Or do that.
There we go.
Oh, it looks pretty high in the front now.
Jesus, wow, yeah, you're not kidding. So that's 4 turns on the torsion bar. It felt tight around the 3rd turn. Then I went to the passenger side and the 4th turn kind of went easier, so then I went back to the driver and did 1 more, but that's not much. Like, the bolts were sticking down like 1 inch before, now they're sticking like 3/4 of an inch.
Oh, really?
So it doesn't take much.
Wow. It's like higher in the front than
literally 4 turns.
I mean, it's hard to say until you put it out on the street. But
And it might still need to settle. Well, it shouldn't need to really settle.
high in the front compared to the back. Like if you compare the wheel well height.
Yeah, no, that's we're sitting Cali style now. It might be like real terrible to drive.
Oh, maybe.
I'll have to find out.
You can always back it off.
Yeah.
I don't know, did you try turning it before you raised them up? Before you raised
Oh,
them
to check for clearance?
Yeah, or no?
No. I mean, really the only issue with clearance on this truck, as you know, old body style people will know, with these factory wheels, it kind of tends to hit the frame in this area back here. Doesn't hit the fender or anything, obviously, but yeah, you kind of need some more offset or wheel spacers for it to be mint, but that's why I kind of wanted to crank it too, just to give it a little better chance. But yeah, that made a big difference. We'll have to see how that drives. If it drives okay, I'll just leave it, but
Well, yeah.
maybe one turn down, because it's definitely a little higher than the back now. Sweet. All right, well, the next thing you guys will see is a on-road review. My first time driving the Radar Renegade RT Plus in 285/75/16. Locally, if you're local, costless tires. That's where I got them from. 770 bucks, guys.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. It may be made in China, Singapore, but they'll rip.
I have them on here, and they've been doing me well.
Yeah. That,
Well,
not
not the same tires, but
D-Max R8, that's the car tire
Here,
brand
here
they
you can
sell.
see this.
Yeah.
these have been on here for
On the rears.
2 or 3 years already.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at the tread still, and obviously I
You guys know how much Rob
like
does
to
burnouts.
spin them up and stuff, do burnouts, so
On this thing
They're,
especially, so.
they're doing very good. I'm impressed with them, and these were like $100 a piece, so
Yeah.
can't complain there at all.
From everything, yeah, I guess a piece, if you guys can't do the math, 169 a piece. That was also a selling feature for me, the price. But we're gonna see how these do. I mean, you know, obviously I could almost see more problems with a big tread like this. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Because things start chunking off or
Yeah.
whatnot, but I guess we'll see. And you guys will see too.
Different kind of tire
Yeah.
for a different kind of purpose. So.
I couldn't find like anything on these tires online. On YouTube, there was a few like forum, personal people, anecdotal story reviews, but as far as like a YouTube video, there's one for the more off-road style ones, but none for these besides some Jeeps that were driving around on like 37-inch versions of these. So yeah, maybe some people can use this to decide if they want this tire. I definitely know I was searching around trying to find some, you know, encouragement to go with the cheap China tire and that it's okay. So far they're okay. They went on the wheels. We'll see what happens next. Glorious sound of sticker tires. It's not often I buy new tires for anything. All right, going across this road will be a test of the bumpiness. So far, having the torsion bars cranked a little more, it feels like more stock. It feels like better how it should be. It's definitely not like harsh at all. It feels like more controlled. So I'm kind of thinking that because they had all that way to go in, that they could have been stock and never touched. And over time, these torsion bars probably, like, you know, release some of their tension, and it probably needed an adjustment. Now that we got it on the open road here, we can really get a gauge of the wind noise. Now that we got it on the open road here, we can really get a gauge for the tire noise. And I gotta tell you guys, it's basically non-existent. If you're worried about tire noise because these look pretty aggressive, do not. I've had Mickey Thompson Baja Claws, those were noisy. I've had some Federal Corregia tires for off-road purpose, and those are also noisy. These are like as quiet as car tires so far, which is pretty good because they are kind of aggressive tread. Biting the corners is pretty good. Going about 200 kilometers an hour right now, and it's sticking really good. There's a bump coming up here that I want to feel the changes I made to the torsion bars on. All right, here's the bump here. Well, it's good to keep in mind that that's a very large bump and our roads are terrible here. It felt okay. I might back them down one turn. I looked at the CV shaft angle too. That's another thing to keep in mind when you're torsioning your bars, and it's a little aggressive. I'd be curious to see what they sound like in 4x4. And as far as tire balance goes, I haven't really felt anything yet wobbling or, you know, excessive at all. Like I said, our roads are terrible, so you gotta take that into account. But as far as people saying these tires are so crappy you can't even balance them, yeah, I don't know about that. That Hyundai just drove by, literally had more road noise than these tires. But I should mention also, there wasn't any bad feedback on these online. There was one guy that, you know, trashed them, but he said he got them on a used truck and took them off the same day, so really his opinion is very limited. But yeah, definitely still impressed so far after doing like a 20-minute drive, mixed city and highway. I can notice a little light hum coming from the tires. But I mean, this is also one of those roads that you kind of get a bit of hum off of, if you know what I mean. So that'll probably be it for the tire review today. Anyway, this portion, there's definitely going to be an off-road portion coming up, and I'll give any updates or if anything happens to them. I mean, knock on wood, but hopefully the only thing to really update is after so many kilometers how they have lasted and stuff like that. But definitely want to do an off-road video, and we're gonna have a lot of fun doing that, I'm sure. So look forward to that. Hopefully some of you who are looking for info on these tires, they had their needs satisfied, as I was, and I couldn't find much info on the internet myself. So as always, guys, hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, and we'll check you later in the next video. Should also mention that I am going to get a front end alignment. You should always do that after you get your torsion bars dangled with. I should mention I am, before you ask in the comments, I am going to get a front end alignment. You should definitely do that when you diddle your torsion bar keys. I might get the tires balanced. I don't know if there's a need, but I might just do it anyway because they're new.